Colby is the next best guy, then maybe he gets the third crack at Kamaru Usman. And I understand that logic, but I also don't understand it whatsoever. Because far be it from me to go against Dana White. It's his company, he can do whatever he wants, and fucking I just go to where I'm told and fucking commentate and whatnot. So, I don't make those matches. But I think Colby needs to, because he's the number 2 welterweight on the planet. But the people that he's beaten leading up to that, he lost to Kamaru, there's no shame. He beat Masvidal, but Masvidal was coming off 2 losses. He was just knocked out. And then the fights before that, there was Tyron Woodley, who was far from his prime with respect to Tyron. Who else? Who were some of the other ones? Dos Anjos, who was a lightweight, who was fighting at welterweight. There was Robbie Lawler. I know I'm not getting these in the correct order of when he last fought them, but these are like some of the last few people that he fought. I would like to see him fight some of those other big fucking names at 170. There's Vicente Luque. There's Khamzat, there's Gilbert Burns. Yes, they're fighting. Who else is there? There's tremendous Leon Edwards. I mean, he should be fighting Usman. I don't know if that's going to go ahead. There's lots of other people for Colby Covington to fight that I'm actually really interested in those matchups rather than getting another stab at Kamaru pretty soon.
Yeah, well, and he's talking about Dustin Poirier, which again is
I missed that one out. That's a fucking lightweight.
Yeah, he's chasing pay-per-view dollars. You know what I mean? Like, he's chasing big fights and big names, but he's absolutely going to need a fight or two before he's going to get back to Usman. They're not going to give that to him right away, but
no,
I like the winner of Gilbert Burns and Chimaev. I think we get to you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. If Chimaev gets through Gilbert Burns, absolutely tells me that he's the real deal. Like, there's still a couple questions. He hasn't beaten anybody in the top 10. He's looked goddamn fantastic, but he just doesn't have that really nice name I think that everyone's looking for. If he beats Gilbert Burns, I think that's good enough. That's good enough to get him in there with like a number 1 contender fight or something like that. So
yeah.
And then that solves the question with Colby, because then if he beats Gilbert Burns and then Colby can beat him, then I think you get a lot of people to shut up about him getting a 3rd fight.
I started laughing then when you said Khamzat, because I was with him Friday and Saturday night. Him and Darren Till, they have become like best buddies. They're the new Colby and Jorge in the making. Them 2 against the world, right? and now they're with Block Acid, a company that I'm involved with and Darren's involved with. They're all down in Las Vegas right now because Khamzat's fighting Gilbert Burns, UFC 274, I believe that, April 9th, I want to say. So they've rented a house and they're living down there, and Darren's training with Khamzat, and he said Khamzat's really inspiring him, just seeing the way he trains, his work ethic and his approach to the sport. So they're all down there. So Friday night, I meet up with them all. Darren, Ilir Latifi. In fact, there's a picture on my Instagram if you want to bring it up, Brian. The Block Acid guys, Ilir Latifi, Darren, and Khamzat and myself. And we have a lovely dinner. And by the way, I want to say a shout out to Richard Wilkes from, he's the hospitality host or the host manager or some shit at Barry's Prime One Steakhouse in Vegas, because the bill was very expensive and he comped it, gave it us all for free. So thank you, Richard. Wow. Anyway, point of the story was, look, there we are.
Oh, there we go.
Right, so there's us enjoying a nice steak, which turned out to be free. So that's always better. But anyway, point of the story is, we get out, we're at Valet, right? They've rented a BMW while they're here. So we get in the car, Khamzat's driving. Now, I don't know if he has the driving license or not. And I don't know how tough it is to get a driving license in Chechnya, because the motherfucker is out of his mind behind the wheel of a car. He is driving like a psychopath. And him and Darren are in the front. Darren's 28. I think Khamzat's 25 or 26. Younger guys, right? Maybe when I was younger, I would have thought it was hilarious as well. But I'm 43 in the back with 3 kids and a wife. Do you know that I want to get back to? And I'm like, fuck, get my seatbelt on. Khamzat's, he's driving like a nutter. He's going down the wrong side of the road. I'm like, Khamzat, you're on the wrong side of the road. He's like, brother, it's no problem. It's good. And I'm like shitting my pants. Darren thinks it's fucking hilarious. So Khamzat's going even faster. And he's purposely going down the fucking wrong side of the road, dodging cars and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was terrified. I thought we were going to die. So we stop at a gas station, right? And I come out, I run in to grab something, and I walk out. fucking Darren's in the driver's seat now. They're doing fucking huge donuts on the fucking by the gas station. I'm like, what the fuck? Khamzat gets in the car. He starts doing donuts with me in the car. He must have missed one of the fuel pumps by about this much. You know what I mean? Then we pulled up at the Residence Inn, and he fucking drove up to the lobby again, foot down, yeah. And then I got messages of Darren taking the piss out of me, making fun of me because, yeah, I was being a little bitch in the back, but I don't want to die. And those guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah, I wish I was there. I feel like we just could have kept switching drivers and just scaring the shit. Michael Bisping would have had a goddamn heart attack.
Oh my God. Oh my. Did you know how to do a donut?
Oh, yeah.
I've never done a donut in my life.
Well, you know what? We're going to have to change that.
I'm 43 years old and I've never done a donut. When I was on The Ultimate Fighter season 14, we had a rental car on there, and I would pull up and I would drive down. There was like a big turning circle at the bottom. I'd always put the handbrake on and pull up like that because it wasn't my car. But that just shows 10 years ago, things have changed. These days, I'm a Jorge Rivera. Jorge Masvidal.
Oh, your best friend.
Whoa. Jorge Masvidal. What do we do with him? He just signed, by all accounts, he's going to be top 3, third highest paid fighter on the UFC roster now. Yeah. So who would that be behind? I mean, I don't know. Obviously behind Conor, who's number 2. Somebody signed. Oh, Izzy recently signed, said he was the second highest. So wow. So Masvidal, fair play to his management. They've done a great job. And Masvidal is a star, but he needs a win. But because he's on that kind of contract, it's going to be a
hard
good
fights
fight.
Hard fights and big names,
Has
main
to
events
be.
and high pressure. That's for sure.
Has to be. Who do you think's next?
Man, I don't know. I think it depends on who some of these other guys fight. Like, what is Conor going to do when he comes back? I think that matters.
Fight for the belt.
That's crazy.
That's what Dana's saying. I know.
Yeah, I hear it. This is crazy.
I want to get into this. Want to get into this, but we're flip-flopping, we're piggybacking, we're jumping all over the topics. We don't give a fuck. Go on, Harrington. What do you want?
Now, he said he's going to fight for a belt. Could it be the BMF title?
But that should be...
Masvidal kicks the shit out of Conor.
The Masvidal Saturday night, I don't know. The Masvidal against Nate Diaz.
I was just going to say the same thing. The one that fought Nate Diaz? Probably. The one that fought Colby Covington 2 nights ago? Not a chance.
Yeah.
It's just...
Again on Rogan's
depends
podcast.
on who shows up.
Well, no, exactly. And to be fair, it sounds like we're taking away from Covington there because people that don't know would say, well, hold on, the reason he didn't fight well is because Covington took the fight out of him. He just controlled him. And that is true. That is true. But again, he looked a little off. And maybe that was because his last fight he got knocked out cold. And no, I don't say that disrespectfully. It's just that is a real factor to consider. And then you're going to get somebody that you knew, that you have history with, that maybe deep down in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, God, this guy can out-wrestle me. And that makes you hesitant. Have you ever been in that situation?
Yeah. I fought, not with a friend or anybody that I knew really well, but I've been in fights where I got a really good wrestler, or, the Andrew Sanchez fight. I was super hesitant the first couple rounds, and it got to the point where there's a minute left in the fight and I got to go or he's going to beat me, and I'm going to lose this decision. And then, I had a very similar situation in the Cesar Fajea fight. Just got out wrestled, and it just changes the way that you strike. You don't want to push forward because it helps them that helps them with the takedowns. You walking right onto them. Can't back up because then you're going to end up in the fence. You can't throw big because they're going to duck under. You can't, wrestling.
It's such a mind fuck.
It's a motherfucker.
It is. It is. Like when I fought Tim Kennedy, you know what I mean? I'd been out for a long, long time with my eye. It was my first fight back. I rushed back. I shouldn't have done it. I'm making excuses. He beat me fair and square. He out-wrestled me. But it was that thing, everything you just spoke about. I've talked about this at length on the podcast, so I don't want to bore people to death. Masvidal, Conor wouldn't be a bad one. That would be a fun fight, and it would tick all the boxes that the UFC want to tick in terms of money. That's big.
Yeah. What about, I said this earlier.
Conor wants to fight at 170 as well.
Yeah. What about one of the Diaz brothers?
Which should be Nate Diaz. That should be the fight. That's right there. They're
I think
one-on-one.
Nick would be bigger.
Well, he definitely would be bigger in terms of weight.
Yeah. No shit. Especially recently.
Yeah.